Do you want to talk about Ted 2?
Yeah.
Ted Season 2.
There is already a Ted 2.
For a period of time where Johnny didn't put a shirt on. And so this is Ted Season 2, the Peacock show. I assume it's still on Peacock. I stopped subscribing to Peacock quite a while ago when whenever WWE started to like kind of wane off of it and start to move to like Netflix. I was like, it seems like now WWE finds itself on, like Royal Rumble was on Disney Plus, and of course they have their Netflix deal. WWE is like South Park. They're spread all over the place. So there was like a time where Hulu had South Park and Family Guy. So HBO Max, you know, they go to Paramount and they say, can we license South Park for $500 million?
I remember being confused at the time, being like, oh, I have HBO Max, that means I have South Park. And then, like, none of the new shit was on there. I was like, wait, you gotta go over to Paramount Plus. I was like, this is a fucking scam.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know what's happening on Peacock, generally speaking. I do know that the inception of this show was NBC, Comcast, Universal probably looked at all their properties and said, what can we make good watchable IP-based shows out of? They probably saw Ted. You know, Ted 2015, I think at the time, was the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. Or R-rated comedy, maybe, because of like Passion of the Christ, Joker 2. Joker 2, I think, is still... not Joker 2, excuse me.
Joker the first.
Folia un. But anyway, I remember Ted being a smash hit. And I also remember Ted 2 was 2015. And I always mark it, I've said it on this show before, as I think it was the last tentpole comedy in theaters. And we were trying to figure out, we were like, when was the last time like a big comedy came out that a lot of people went to go see in a movie theater? And you know what? I think I put my finger on it. I think I figured it out. Ted 2. Like 11 years ago. There have been Marvel movies with comedy. There have been Oscar movies with comedy, but where it's like you're going to go out there and laugh. That's the reason you're showing up. Yeah, of course, comedies have come out, but they haven't surpassed $90, $100 million. I think Ted 2 is the last one.
Got any crushes at school?
Of course. Dad.
That guy on that pig was flying. What the hell? That's crazy.
Anyway, yeah, they went to him and they were like, could you please do a TED show?
It was actually Universal's idea.
Oh, wow.
Susan Rovner came to me and said, what about a TED TV series? And I said, you know what that would cost?
And he was like, well, yes, if you'll spend a lot of money on it, because it's very expensive and difficult to do the CG teddy bear. And he said they didn't half-ass it. I heard, as of this latest season, that it's $8 million an episode, with all the mocap and all the rest of it. I'd have to pull up the quote, but for that reason, he's not really interested in doing a season 3. It's like it's gotten too complicated.
Yeah, I could see that. But
that reference I was making earlier about Johnny's shirt. So Johnny is, of course, his best friend in the show, and he's played by Mark Wahlberg in the movies. The kid that plays him just doesn't have any Mark Wahlberg quality whatsoever.
You have filed paperwork with the Massachusetts Parole Board. You were arrested and spent time in jail for some violent assaults.
Much funnier, in my opinion. This kid, fucking funny.
My diarrhea's gone.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all normal now. I mean, ever so often I'll get a bum taco or whatever and something will happen, but for the most part, I've been solid.
He is great, but has nothing to do with Mark Wahlberg. And so they have to bridge that gap at the end of this season. So like they just have Johnny like standing outside of like Boston Fitness. And he's like, I'm going to go get swole. Ian McKellen is like, and Johnny did get swole.
And John did indeed get massively swole. There was a 7-year period where he never once wore a shirt.
And for a period of time, he didn't wear a shirt. We're talking about Mark Wahlberg. And in fact, there's 2 movies about it. Go see it. Actually, the second one has some fun moments, but I can't get through the entire thing.
There are 2 movies about it. Just watch them. Well, the first one. The second one has funny moments, most of them in the first half, but even I can't sit still for the whole thing.
Much like season 1, this fucking thing's a laugh a minute. This thing, I mean, you're gonna I want to see the humorless bitch who sits and watches Ted's, the Ted series, stone faced the whole time, just stares at it.
Hey, can I have this?
This isn't funny.
The third episode of the D&D episode, I was howling. Oh my God. It was just like, it's just like it's when you're like delirious with laughter. You just like, you're not even sure what you're laughing at anymore.
My friend John and I.
The Down syndrome boy?
He doesn't have Down syndrome.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I think he does.
Well, be that as it may.
Yeah, so that was the episode where they were trying to buy weed off of a dungeon master, a guy who's like held back a bunch of grades. And so they have to play this game of D&D to get the weed. Meanwhile, his conservative parents want to keep him off of weed, and they see him playing this game. And they're like, we want to be more involved in your life. And so the parents play the game.
You got any sunscreen for my fucking head?
Of course, the parents, Maddie and Aunt Seuss, are really highlights of the show. They're both amazing.
Yeah, I'll have a Sam Adams.
Oh, I am sorry, good cleric, but here we only serve mead.
What are you, an asshole?
I'll have a pint of mead.
He will absolutely not have alcohol. He can have a Dr. Pepper.
Yes, Susan is probably the MVP, right?
I'm probably telling everybody something they already know, but do you know that the Maddie, the dad, is the voice of the son from American Dad?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, no, he's good though. Yeah, he's great.
There's a whole lot of talk about his stool and his constipation.
Speaking of, I gotta take a dump. That was a long fucking ceremony.
Have a good stool, Maddie. And Johnny, did you do your doo-doos yet today?
Oh, Ma. I'm 18 now. Minus stools, too.
Oh, good heavens, you're right.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta take my sitz bath.
Hurry up with that sitz bath, huh? Feels like somebody microwaved a hairbrush and shoved it in my asshole.
You even made caca.
I melted some candy into diapers so it looks like caca.
So the parents join in, so they do the cool thing, which if you have a few bucks you can do, which is like whenever they're playing D&D, it cuts to sort of them in medieval costumes, and not unlike what we did with Boxmack, except we used AI slop, and they
there's
a little bit of AI slop in here. So there's a scene that was making its way around on the internet of Bill Clinton. It's a deep fake. He walks into a the parents have to work at a Dunkin' Donuts, and he walks in and as like a photo op, is like, I'm gonna get Dunkin' Donuts. It's technically AI in as much as it's machine learning, but it's not. I don't think there's much generative AI going on with this particular technology. We've talked about this with when South Park did Trump in the Desert. Sort of the same idea. They're just mapping a face to another face.
Yeah, he probably has like a gray wig on.
Yeah,
like he's everything except for like the no prosthetics probably.
And it was very clearly Seth MacFarlane, and all of the tells were there. One being, that Bill Clinton voice from Family Guy. If you've watched any Family Guy, you've probably heard that.
I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world, wrapped in plastic. It's fantastic.
Fuck, Clinton was like just about out of. Was he still in office when Family Guy started?
1999. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Because I saw the first episode of Family Guy after the Super Bowl. I stayed up to watch it.
Yeah, I did too. In 1999 when I was in 7th grade.
Why do you continue to avoid the truth even after being impeached? Probably because you're so fat.
Family Guy. See a sneak peek right after the Super Bowl on Fox.
And I thought it was so good. I was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, we like those like references to IP, even though they quickly became cringy for everybody.
Remember Star Wars and Transformers the movie. Remember Ghostbusters. Remember the Goonies. Remember when neon used to be trendy. Remember the Where's the Beef Lady from Wendy's.
Where like all you South Park made fun of it. All you do is just make a reference, but it's like, yeah, but they made a reference I get. It was really amazing. Yeah, I was super into it. I remember the whole saga of it going off the air and coming back with DVD. I remember John. Everybody had those DVDs, but I remember John had those DVDs first, and he was like, or he had like a shitload of TiVo of Family, and we'd watch the first like 2 or 3 seasons of Family Guy over and over again.
It's called TiVo. It always records what you're watching so you can rewatch anything you missed.
Oh, sounds fancy. How does it work?
I'll tell you how it works. Easy as pie is how it works. I'll tell you how it works. Easy as pie is how it works. Should I ring it up?
I got the DVDs. I must have watched them a trillion times.
Yeah, and then when you went to college and they released the DVDs, like every dorm had one.
Oh yeah,
and then because of the DVD sales, that's what brought it back basically.
It was like the first show where that was the case, and I'm sure there were others. I don't know specifically of others. And then there's just something in the kind of the tightness of the face and the teeth.
Yeah, I don't know if he has veneers or that's his teeth, but yeah, he's got a certain smile.
He started off as such a dork, and now he's like this Ken doll kind of, like half Korean looking guy.
Yeah, you see like his old pictures where he has like the baby bangs and like the glasses. Yeah.
Anyway, he did this whole like Bill Clinton fights with Maddie thing that was pretty funny.
I think you stink. And you're doing a garbage job.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, listen here, you pockmarked piece of shit. You got some set of fucking balls. I take time out of my day to visit your little shit shop, and you're giving me lip? Maybe the real problem is you're just a fucking loser.
So I think maybe the D&D one I think is an easy favorite, but my second favorite of this season was there's an episode where Maddie, the dad, he's sort of like Archie Bunker on crack. He has a heart attack. And they're like, if you get any angrier, if you have another anger spell, you're going to have another one and it might kill you. And so they have to keep him calm. And the OJ verdict is, because it takes place in the 90s, they're going to release the OJ verdict. The family finds out before he does, and they're like, we can't let him know. He's going to have a heart attack. So they're like, why don't we just like unplug all the TVs? We'll say the cable's broken and we'll tell him that OJ is going to jail. And that's how we'll handle it. Like he's super happy and they have to lie to him. And Blair, the kind of like Mike Stivic of the family is gritting, kind of has a gritted teeth and bear it. And then he's like, I can't wait to read this in the paper tomorrow.
Man, can't wait to read about this in tomorrow's paper.
What?
Yeah, bring it to me first thing in the morning.
And they're like, oh, the paper. And then so Ted and Johnny go to the school and have to print their own newspaper that reflects all of Maddie's horrible ideas and his entire life. But they can't just do a cover story on OJ, so they have to do the comics. And so like Johnny comes up with this whole like the Galumphs, some stupid comic strip that he gets really into.
And I still got to figure out tomorrow's Galumphs. Okay, how about this? Gary Galumph tells his wife to get all gussied up for a fancy dinner, and then he takes her to the grocery store to fill up on free samples.
I'm smiling, but I'm not laughing yet.
His dad shares the sense of humor. She brought a beach chair to the DMV.
He brought a beach chair to the DMV. He knows he's going to be there all day.
Classic Galumphs.
She's going to be there for a long time. And then he's like, well, when's the cable going to get fucking fixed? And so they have to they hire an actor to fix the cable, and then they make their own news program where this same actor, it's the actor from season 1 that they hired to be the bully's dad. He has to play the weather lady and the newsman, and he wants to put all of his method into it.
Oh my gosh. I haven't felt like this since my wife died.
So they basically, they create a 2-man media empire. They just keep this lie up about how
Kangaroo's a fake. Fucking called it.
And also, kangaroo's a fucking fake.
Hey, how about those fucking fake kangaroos, huh?
What?
Eventually, he finds himself out in the world.
He's fucking crazy. He's never heard of the fucking Galumphs. There ain't no Galumphs, asshole. You wouldn't know. You don't fucking read, you dumb fuck. I read Garfield like a regular fucking human being, fuckface. Fuck Garfield and fuck you.
Blair, in a shadowy parking garage, reveals that OJ did in fact get off, and everything's wrong, and everything's upside down and backwards, and he has another heart attack. I love that one. I thought it was hilarious. The school play one, also incredible.
Yeah.
They play 2 guardsmen, and they accidentally do shrooms. They thought they were going to smoke weed beforehand to stay calm during the show.
Guys, do not eat those brownies.
What?
They're laced with shrooms or some shit. I'm in fucking hell right now.
And instead, complete fucking chaos on stage.
Yeah, I love when the stagehand turns into like a fish and jumps into
maybe we're going to be okay.
Splashes into the boards.
Yeah, maybe it won't hit us as hard. Guards, 30 seconds. You're on.
Oh, fuck.
There's a lot of great episodes. I think there were 8 total.
They're so funny. And the banter between Ted and Johnny is just so good.
We gotta find a way out of here. The warden's gonna have us shot in the prison yard.
Don't worry, Johnny. I've been digging a hole in the wall for the past 6 months. We can escape through it.
What the fuck?
Yeah, now we can get out of here.
You said you dug that for us?
Yeah.
I can't fit through there. You made that for you.
No, it's for both of us.
It's literally shaped exactly like you.
Nah, no, it's not.
It's got fucking ears.
Such good chemistry, such good comedic timing on both of them.
That kid is so funny. The kid that said, what if I fought or get a boner?
I'm scared, Teddy. What if he shows us a diagram of a vagina and I get a boner?
Hey, you're getting a boner before this class ends, buddy. The sooner you wrap your head around that, the better.
I saw an interview with Seth MacFarlane not too long ago where he was like, well, I grew up I went to college in Rhode Island, and it's a really strange part of the world.
There was a security guard who worked at the Rhode Island School of Design where I went to college. Just this big, thick Rhode Island accent. Everything was said at this volume. Absolutely no self-editing whatsoever. And it just, the guy could read the phone book, and it made me laugh. Because it really is, that New England, Massachusetts, Rhode Island accent is the most hideous thing on the planet. was pretty bad. Yeah. So it's so awful.
And just something about those accents just make everything just so funny. It's like, I think that's what he just keeps returning to these accents because, like, well, it is just funny.
Yeah, you have to.
Mark Wahlberg, I lost my teddy bear.
Hello, 911? I need the police right away. This guy took my teddy bear. Hello?
The thing that we have not stopped laughing about is pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening.
Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time.
So the D&D one, the cold open or whatever, the start of the show is they're watching the pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time, Bagel Bites commercial.
Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time.
And they're like, this sounds like a fucking cry for help. This sounds like something. It sounds like something a madman would say. This sounds like something that you would draw in blood all over the walls.
Yeah, that's something you'd find smeared in blood on the wall at a crime scene.
Also, aren't pizza in the evening and pizza at supper time kind of the same thing?
No, not to this guy. He's lost his fucking mind.
And so they kind of plant that, and then much later in the show, where they're playing D&D, they're up against a horrible monster, and Ted goes to the DM. He goes, I attack you.
I attack you.
What?
You heard me. I attack you.
You can't. The dungeon master is God.
Fine, I attack God.
And he's like, you can't do that. I'm basically God in the game. Only a madman would do that. And Ted goes, pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening.
Only a madman would do that.
Pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time.
That's a critical hit.
I don't know why that's so funny, but
it's good. It's a good
the whole
comedy
thing just
callback.
reminds like Seth MacFarlane did Family Guy until 2009. I have to admit, I still haven't watched American Dad. I have. I've probably seen like 20 episodes actually, but I never really. I'm not a viewer of American Dad, and it never like hooked me in. People swear by it.
Perhaps we should consult the classic Harry Nilsson song, Lime in the Coconut, for tips. She put the lime in the coconut, drank them both up, bellyache, called the doctor. He says, put the lime in the coconut. Bullshit! Doesn't say anything about how to open it.
I watched it for a while. I thought it was I thought it was good.
Yeah.
People said it was like American Dad was good for a long time. Like even when it like moved to like TBS or some shit.
Is it still on?
People were like, "Don't sleep on American Dad. It's still good." And I was like, "Okay." I don't have time to watch all that.
I can't afford to sacrifice the amount of time it takes to watch an entire
American Dad
from start to finish.
It is still on.
Yeah, it's still on.
Returned to Fox for its 22nd season.
Jesus.
Now, I remember watching that after the Super Bowl in 06. I remember, right? Or maybe 05?
Yeah.
05, maybe? I was in college.
Because you had on his fridge has like the Terror Watch levels or whatever, which is so dated now.
Exactly. Very like, Colin Powell, WMDs in Iraq, like Rush Limbaugh era. We're in a very different era than that now. I mean, I'm sure it is the kind of show, though, I suppose, that could easily keep up with the times.
Yeah.
Like you can Stan as like a big Trump guy sounds pretty funny, actually. Like even though like I hate like the very, very topical stuff. Like if you do have this guy who's like a, kind of like restless Republican, like that could be funny if he has like a 20-year history of being that, in the way that like it'd be really funny to watch like Archie Bunker, react to today or something. I'm trying to think of other like amazing moments that stood out for me. That one, of course. Oh, there's an episode where Blair needs to get an abortion and the parents object, of course. Ultimately, John and Ted bring her to the abortion clinic and they have to distract. There's a bunch of protesters out, pro-life protesters, and they have to distract them. And there's this funny scene where they're acting like they're like abortion salesmen. And like, we got the Abortomatic, and
We better get this abortion machine unloaded.
Yeah, the clinic needs it for slooping out all those fetuses.
Yep, the old fetus deletus.
The old zygote bigote.
And so the protesters run after them. It's like a little funny. But about 10 minutes later, after all the other stuff goes down, they return to the scene and they've been beaten to a fucking pulp. Like Ted's all really, he's got his eye socket out and stuff. He looks a little bit funny. Johnny looks, think of like the ending of Rocky 1 where he's really brutalized in the face and like multiply it by 3 or 4. I mean, it's so over the top, the makeup, like the amount of swelling and the blood and and he's like, I'm a loser at school. This is nothing for me.
Oh my God, are you guys okay?
Oh, yeah. I'm a loser in high school. This is nothing.
It reminded me a bit of Family Guy, like the chicken fight or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
They
absolutely.
always like over animate the violence, in a funny way. Seth MacFarlane left Family Guy in 2009, long time ago. But that means he was on the show for 10 years. And I can't help but feel like, you know what? He probably like really, his particular comedy really defined that show. And now he brings that over to something else and it really defines this show. Like, yeah, I'm sure you could hand it off to funny Family Guy writers and it'd be funny. But there's that dude's plugged into something with humor. Like
I think so. I think he's got it. He's just got it.
I'm glad. I'm actually really happy for him because I feel like there was a while there where the whole thing fell off a bit. I think we talked about it a little bit when we talked about Ted season 1. I think everybody knows he's funny and knows he's talented, but for some reason the general public, in my experience, seems to resent him anyway. Where I don't know. I felt like people were overly hard on it for not having any heart, or for it being cynical, or for it encouraging or glorifying bad things. Like there was a lot of kind of talk like that for a while, not understanding that it's a joke, and or that it's bro or frat humor, and this kind of thing for a while. And then what I heard, I'm not plugged in enough, but I heard that like TikTok kind of resurrected the whole thing, like because Family Guy is basically a sketch comedy show,
right?
The way that it's snippeted. And so like it turned out that it works very, very well for TikTok. And so, yeah, I mean, for a show that's been on for 27 years, you can imagine a bunch of 18-year-olds discovering it for the very first time from the top,
Subscribe to Red Cow Entertainment on Patreon.
Why the fuck would he say that?
Sorry.